Here are the first three notes we're going to be learning on clarinet. C, D, and E. You might remember we talked about using the solfege scale to figure out the notes of our songs. The solfege scale is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Well, the first three notes that we're learning on clarinet make the sound of do, re, mi, si, d, e. So now let's learn how to place our fingers to make those notes on the clarinet. First step is you want to make sure you're holding the clarinet with proper holding position. We have our left hand on top and our right hand goes on the bottom. Both of our hands need to be in a rounded C shape. Imagine like you're holding a tennis ball in your hand. And here's my other hand. So with our round C-shaped hand, we have our left hand on top and our right hand on the bottom. We're going to start with E because it has the least amount of fingers. We'll start with our thumb on the tone hole on the back of the clarinet. You want to use the flat part of your thumb on the opposite side from your fingernail. It's called the pad of your finger or your thumb. We're going to place the flat part of our thumb over the tone hole and make sure we're covering the hole completely so no air can leak out. On the front side of the clarinet, we're going to use our index finger and do the same thing. We're going to use the pad of our finger to completely cover this tone hole right here. So with our thumb covering the tone hole on the back and our index finger covering the tone hole on the front, we're going to play an E. So now let's remember our proper band face. You're going to firm up your muscles around the corners of your lips, place your bottom lip over your bottom teeth, and your top teeth are going to go on the top of the mouthpiece. Close your lips in a firm circle around the mouthpiece, and let's play E. Now, if your note didn't sound like mine, there's a couple things you can check. First, check to make sure that you're using the proper band face and you're using firm muscles. If your hand's not curved in a round C shape like this, you might accidentally hit this side key, and that's going to make your note sound wrong. So, round C shape with your hand. And finally, you want to check and make sure your finger is completely covering the tone hole. If any air is leaking out, the note is not going to sound right. Now there's a cool way you can check to make sure you're completely covering the hole. Press your fingers down on the tone hole and then lift up your fingers and quickly look at your fingertip, and you should see the round circle imprint of the tone hole right on the center of your finger. And then you know that you've completely covered the tone hole. So here's our E. Now we're going to go down one note in the scale. We're going to go to a D. A D is one note lower, so we're going to add our middle finger to cover the next tone hole. Not this silver key right here. We're going to skip that one. We're going to put our middle finger on this tone hole and cover it just like we covered the other tone holes. This is going to sound a D. So there's our D. And the final note we're going to learn today is called a C. It's down one more note in the scale. We're going to take our ring finger and press down on top of the next tone hole. And that's going to make the sound of a C. So again, if your notes sound kind of funny, if they don't sound right, check your band face, check your fingers that they're completely covering the tone holes, and make sure your hand is in a nice round C shape so you're not accidentally hitting any wrong keys. Now, as I said before, these three notes we just learned, C, D, E, make up the first three sounds in our solfege scale. Do, re, mi. So let's practice playing our three notes going C, D, E. And next, you want to practice it going in reverse order. We're going to play E, D, C. So there you have it. Those are the first three notes that you need to play three of our basic songs for band. You can play Hot Cross Buns, Pierrot, and Mary Had a Little Lamb, all with these three basic notes. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson on how to play your first three basic notes on the clarinet. Now go practice.